Yeah, I think there's a queue. There's myself and Carbayel, but he's probably next in line after us, you know. He looked good tonight, very explosive. And
hey, this is a young kid, 20 years old, with devastating knockout power, bro. This have Mike Tyson type of energy all over it.
He's about one punch away from getting hurt. So big respect to Itauma. I mean, he knew that he can get him out, and he got him out straight away. I mean, I think no one expected it to finish that quick.
Speed kills, as you know.
Speed kills.
Boxing legends are buzzing after Moses Itauma's sensational first-round knockout of Dillian Whyte. Antonio Tarver praised the young fighter, saying, "Ita is incredible and carries a style that reminds him of Mike Tyson." He highlighted devastating knockout power and maturity beyond his years. Many believe this victory has announced Itauma as a rising star in heavyweight boxing, showing he has the talent and presence to dominate the division's future.
He's going to give these tough guys, he's going to give these veterans a hell of a time, bro. He's poised, he's patient, and he got that knockout power. He know how to set it up. It's going to be a nightmare to get rid of this guy, man.
There's been so much talk of Moses Itauma. His talent, we've said how talented he really is. Now he's doing on the big stage, the main event. That's another level now, isn't it?
Well, we know Dillian Whyte came in here being knocked out a couple times, wanted to see could he land a punch on this young kid, but he didn't have a chance tonight. He got mowed over, and this is a big win for a young guy. But he got to continue to fight credible opponents, and he got to get tested. He got to fight a young fighter like himself and beat a credible opponent like that, not these old, washed-up fighters that he can only just look good against. You got to get tested too to see if he's the real deal.
Now talk to me about Dillian. Obviously we can see the work that you put in. Such a brilliant servant to the sport, isn't it?
Say it again, I'm sorry.
For Dillian, we can see the work that he put in this camp. Such a brilliant servant to the sport. If this is the end, how good has Dillian Whyte been?
You know what, Dillian Whyte has been a staple in the heavyweight division. I think it's time for him to hang it up. He can only get hurt a lot worse than he did tonight. You know, fortunately, you know, he didn't get seriously injured, KO'd and knocked out unconscious. You know, he'll be able to take this loss and I think enjoy the rest of his retirement.
Definitely. Just before I let you go, Moses Itauma, is it time to see him in there with Alexander Usyk, or do you still think that might be too soon?
It's too soon for Usyk, bro. He got to earn his title shot. He got to be the real contender. He be the washed-up has-been tonight.
Ben Davidson's response to the shocking knockout carried both respect and admiration. He emphasized how meaningful it was to witness a British legend like Dillian Whyte step into the ring once again regardless of the outcome. Davidson's tone reflected appreciation for Whyte's career achievements while also acknowledging the magnitude of Moses Itauma's victory. He viewed the fight not simply as a sudden finish, but as a statement moment that highlighted the passing of the torch to a younger generation. I for the opportunity.
For the opportunity, British boxing legend. So yeah, really pleased.
We spoke about this before in the week, and let's not kind of cut over the fact that Dillian Whyte has been in with everyone.
100%.
And this was a gamble from your side, from the stepping class between, say, a Dempsey McKean to someone like a Dillian Whyte, and that was a gamble. You took the gamble and it's paid off, but you shouldn't start saying, "Oh, Whyte was whatever" now, because we didn't know what was going to happen tonight.
No, I think it's extremely disrespectful to have that approach. Like I say, nothing but respect with Dillian. Really appreciate him giving us the opportunity, and yeah, I think Moses deserves all the credit that he should be getting.
Did you expect it to come that early?
No, I didn't. Being honest, I know that he's always capable. He's a very difficult heavyweight to be in there with. Very difficult to defend against. He hits hard enough where he's hitting you with shots that you don't see, and hits hard enough to put you away with those. So I know that he can come at any moment, but yeah, he saw the opportunity, picked up on something that he'd worked on. Big shout out to Lee Wiley as well. Puts a lot of time in, a lot of effort in, and fantastic in putting together a scouting report and picking up on Dillian's tendencies for us to go away and put together some drills and rep that with Moses, and yeah, it all paid off. Everyone's work paid off.
Tyson Fury shared his reaction to Moses Itauma's impressive win over Dillian Whyte. Even the heavyweight champion praised Itauma's performance and said, "There he is, the future of boxing." Been saying it for years. Tyson Fury's acknowledgement added huge credibility, proving that Itauma's victory was not only shocking, but respected at the very top level. Frank Warren, one of boxing's most experienced promoters, described the fight as an incredible and brutal display. His view was that the speed and decisiveness of Itauma's performance sent a clear message to the boxing world. The short nature of the contest highlighted explosive style and finishing ability, proving he could handle the pressure of a big event against a well-respected opponent like Dillian Whyte. For Warren to emphasize brutality and efficiency meant showed exactly what fans and promoters want to see in a rising star, entertainment mixed with undeniable skill.
Certainly don't, and there weren't any overtime. It was an unbelievable, ruthless, short performance. Caught him with good shots and done an absolute job.
Did you expect that?
No. I fancied him to win. I thought he'd stop him, but I didn't think it would be like that.
Frank Hrgovic next?
Don't know yet. We'll see what happens. No rush today. We've got a load of options, and we'll consider what we're going to do.
How do you match this guy now?
We'll match him.
But, I mean, no one's giving him rounds.
Sorry?
Frank Warren tweeted, "Moses Itauma is the real deal. We all just witnessed something special." His statement reflects the magnitude of Itauma's victory and the impression it left on the boxing world. Such praise from a veteran promoter shows that Itauma's win is viewed as a defining moment. Audio stressed how extraordinary it is for Itauma to achieve such success at a young age. His analysis highlighted that Itauma's youth gives him time to improve and dominate for years to come. For a prospect to beat a seasoned fighter like Whyte in such a dominant fashion signals extraordinary potential. Oladipo argued that the next 2 to 3 years could define Itauma's legacy, as he already possesses the skill, discipline, and fearlessness that take most fighters much longer to develop. His comments show that Itauma's journey has only just begun with unlimited room for growth.
Was clearly done, and we'll get to whether or not Dillian Whyte is done. So there are going to be some that say, look, okay, what's Dillian Whyte done in the last couple of years? And these things are true, and I spoke about those things as well, but I don't want to change what the narrative was or what the narrative has been in the last couple of days. With everyone seeing the way Dillian Whyte looked and the way Dillian Whyte was speaking, I think a lot of people are like, well, 1 second, something might happen here. Let's remember that, because something did happen. Moses Itauma was just a steam train. Honestly, this guy, for 20 years of age, 20, remember all these heavyweights that you're seeing right now that are in their peak, are in their mid to late 30s, and most of them became world level operators in their mid to late 20s. He's doing it as a baby. This guy is 20 years and 7 months. And, you know, I've been like around Andy Lee for the last couple of days, and it's been so good being around Andy, because Andy has told me stories of watching Moses spar Joseph Parker. And even Andy's been waxing lyrical about him. And he doesn't have to, right? This is off camera, this isn't on camera, these are private conversations. And he's like, this dude is good. Because there's been a lot of talk about if this was to go and turn into a dogfight, maybe Dillian Whyte would have the advantage. And I think I said this as well, to be fair. And Andy kind of shut that down straight away, said no. Like, I've seen this guy in a dogfight. So maybe he's talking about the spars with Joseph Parker. But I'm just so excited about what this kid can be in the next 2 or 3 years. I am. I like the way the Americans are talking about him, because it's so hard for Brits to kind of get the thumbs up from American fight fans, American fighters.
Dave Caldwell captured the excitement with the word devastating, showing just how emphatic the knockout was. He described Itauma as a fighter who consistently gives his best, always entertaining fans with his speed and intensity. For Caldwell, the performance confirmed that Itauma isn't just about power, but also about putting on a show that audiences will remember. His acknowledgement of Itauma's fast-paced style suggests the young heavyweight could become a fan favorite, delivering the kind of excitement that keeps boxing alive in the public eye.
Devastating, stunning, spectacular. You can throw all the words you want at it. It was brutal, and this is what I feared going in. I'm a bit, you know, when fighters give their all to the career and you watch them throughout the years, having wars and giving everything, like Dillian Whyte against Chisora. You saw the action with the first with the AJ fight. You look at him throughout all his career. He always goes out there, gives everything, has a tear up, is exciting. He's a big character, big personality. And then when they get to a stage of the career where you feel as though it's that fight where where it's kind of like it's way too much for him, and it's going to be, quite a nasty ending for him, a nasty ending to a career. I was worried for Dillian going into that this would be that fight, and it was. I mean, that you don't get as it can't be any worse than that to punctuate a career, to end a career.
Before we talk about what's potentially next for Dillian, let's talk about Moses. It's hard because we almost want to, I think, feel like we want to learn a bit more about him. No, genuinely. Yeah. Like, I wanted at least to see about 4 or 5 rounds, and maybe I don't want to necessarily say, "Oh, I'll get clipped with a few," because if you can move out the way, great.
You want questions asked, don't you?
I want to see. If you get dragged into the trenches a little bit, where can we go here? But you don't ever get that far. So is that, I suppose, maybe the only thing you go, I thought we'd have seen a bit more of him.
Yeah, that's what you want to. You want to tick boxes as a fan, as somebody who's trying to see how far this kid can go. When we get something spectacular, you want to see him have questions put in front of them and see, like you say, can they go a few rounds? What happens? Yeah, because there's still those unanswered questions that we've got. Can he carry it on throughout the later rounds? Can his feet stay sharp? Can he, does he retain that sharpness, past 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 rounds?
Analysts were quick to dismiss any notion that Whyte's loss was due to poor preparation. They pointed out that Dillian Whyte came into the fight in excellent condition, bringing with him the experience of a long and respected career. This made Itauma's victory even more impressive, as he had never faced an opponent of Whyte's caliber before. By handling the challenge so convincingly, Itauma showed he had the composure and power to compete at the highest level. Analysts concluded that the performance stamped him as an upcoming champion who could dominate the division in the near future.
He was a bigger step up than Moses Itauma had ever faced in his career. Remind you guys, the kid only has now 13 fights. And this was supposed to be somewhat of a test for Moses Itauma. This is supposed to tell us where he was in the pantheon of heavyweight and what you can do with him next. If he is going to struggle with guys like Dillian Whyte, you can't fast-track him to a world title. If he goes out and does what he did, which is absolutely beat the brakes off Dillian Whyte, demolish him, and make it look like they should have never been in the ring together, then you have to fast-track him to a world title. You have to have him fighting the best in the world. Whether it's Parker or Cabiel, whoever's not fighting Usyk next, whether it's a returning Anthony Joshua, we'll talk about that in a second, whether it's a Tyson Fury, no one's probably going to want to take that risk right now because of their legacies, because of what's set in stone. So you're probably going to have to give him some younger, hungry heavyweights, like I said, a Parker or a Cabiel. But I'm telling you right now, it is not a matter of if, but when that kid gets to a world title, because dog, he's out here making this look easy. He is playing heavyweight boxing on easy mode right now, and it's not because he's boosting the sliders. It's because the competition just is not there for him. They tried to give him a step up with Dillian Whyte, and he made it look like a walk in the park. Let's talk about the fight. They both walked out. By the way, Styles P on the walkout for Moses Itauma, him as the voiceover saying, the future isn't coming, the future is here, the future is now. That's some big fucking balls. I'm talking 2 grapefruits hanging in your shorts to walk out to your own voiceover.
After the fight, Itauma himself expressed a humble perspective. He explained that he had been boxing since the age of 9, and his focus has always been on mastering the sport rather than chasing stardom. His words revealed a genuine passion for boxing centered on the desire to be recognized as a great fighter rather than a celebrity. This outlook resonated with fans who appreciate authenticity in athletes. But Thomas's focus on legacy and love for the sport over commercial gain demonstrated maturity that set him apart from many other young fighters.
Online shopping, something like that. I've never been a person to focus on that. My goal was never to be a superstar or to sell out Wembley, or that's never been on my agenda. Me personally, I've been boxing since I was 9 years old. It's just something that I do. If I don't box, I feel out of place. I don't feel comfortable in myself. So I'm chasing that thing that I've always had as a little kid, and that's just to be a fighter, and everything else kind of falls into place, doesn't it?
Eamon with seconds out. Question for Moses. You referenced in the pre-fight build-up that you felt that Whyte was as per the rules. Sorry.
Moses Itauma set everything up with his fiends, did what he was supposed to do with all the hype around him, captured his best win on paper. His words highlight Itauma's technical ability and composure under pressure. The use of feints showed maturity beyond his years, and delivering such a performance in a high-profile fight silenced doubts. This victory stands as his most significant achievement so far, marking a turning point in his career. Gone boxing analysts noted that the general expectation before the fight was that Whyte's experience would test Itauma in unfamiliar ways. Many believed the contest would last longer, giving Whyte chances to exploit potential weaknesses in the young fighter. Instead, Itauma's early knockout defied all predictions. This shock factor added to the significance of the victory, showing that Itauma was not only capable of handling the pressure, but also able to exceed expectations dramatically. His ability to finish the fight so quickly reinforced his status as a unique and dangerous prospect.
We've got something here. Maybe we can, maybe he can go a couple of rounds. Not saying he's going to win, but maybe he can go a couple of rounds and, pull something out. Maybe just be competitive. We've questions of Itauma that we need asked. Maybe Dillian Whyte is the guy to ask them. All right? And that's what we're thinking. Maybe. All right? So, you get the fight week. And Dillian Whyte is very much in a, it's the Itauma show, and being very respectful to Itauma. Now, some people were saying maybe that's Dillian Whyte trying to play mind games with Itauma, lull him into a false sense of security. Others were saying maybe it's him checked out. Again, I was kind of like, nah, it's probably him just playing the mind games. He'll probably get taken out, but Itauma will go rounds. Dillian Whyte weighs in. Career lightest, or no, sorry, not career lightest, but lightest he's been in a decade. And I spoke to a few people in Saudi who were there today and said that they think the scales were a little bit off and that he actually could have been lighter, right? Believe it or not. So everyone was buzzing for this. Now, I did say, I think yesterday in the video I did, that maybe Dillian Whyte, could he have taken the weight off too soon? Could he be a little bit weak? Who knows, right? But either way, we go to the fight tonight. They're both in the ring. Dillian Whyte looks on it. And here we go. It's fight night. Now, from the get-go, the speed was a problem for Dillian Whyte. Itauma was just too fast. You could see it. That hand speed, like that. It was just phenomenal. And you're just like, oh God. For me, you could see the writing was on the wall.
Buddy McGirt, Whyte's coach, gave an honest breakdown of what happened in the ring. He admitted that Dillian Whyte was caught clean by Itauma's punch and simply could not recover in time. McGirt also defended the referee's decision to stop the fight, arguing it was the right call for Whyte's safety. Importantly, he acknowledged that Itauma has the qualities to become a future world champion, coming from an experienced trainer. This recognition underscored just how impressive Itauma's performance was against such a respected veteran,